Now, it's much pleasure that I now introduced District 9780, District Governor-elect Cathy Rivett, to take you through and introduce the first of the 4 priorities: increase our impact. Over to you, Cathy.
Thank you, Bob. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of our action sessions for this year's multi-district PETS. As Bob said, my name is Cathy Rivett, and I'm the District Governor-elect for District 9780, which encompasses the eastern part of South Australia and the western half of Victoria. So today's session, I'll be focusing on the first of the 4 key areas of Rotary: increase your impact. I would now like to welcome Tony Thiel, District 9780 trainer, to take you through what will be happening in today's session. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Cathy, and hello, everybody. As a result of this session, what we hope is that you're going to be inspired to imagine the impact that your Rotary Club can have. We want you to be able to lead your club to make some really good decisions about how you target your time and your resources, and to tell your Rotary stories in a powerful and meaningful way. Because you were born to make an impact, and Rotary was also born to make an impact. And our challenge is that we've got limited time and resources. We're all really busy, and there are so many people that need our help. It's a multiplying effect. The more we do, the more people come to us seeking help. So what can we actually do that's going to help us to tell the stories that make an impact, that draw more people, more resources, and more help to do the things that really matter? Because sometimes we can be so busy actually doing that we don't take the time to work out whether in fact what we're doing is making that difference. To quote part of what Helen Keller said over her amazing life, we can't do everything, but we can do something. And it's no surprise that people absolutely love reality TV. You all know that. And one of the reasons that they love it is because you can see the before and the after. You can see, for instance, the glacier in 1911, and you can see it now, and you immediately know that there's some action that's required. You can see that somebody started off with a wreck of a car, and you've probably seen a few of these in your travels, and we all go, wow, when we see the difference that somebody's love, care, and attention has made. We can see the amazing impact that a makeover program has on somebody's life, not just in how they look, but how they live, how they feel about themselves, how they impact the world around them. And even just a simple graph, the fact that we bothered to track from where we started to where we finished up makes that enormous difference. Part of the joy of the block is because you see the before and the after, and it's little wonder that it's one of the top rating programs in Australia. And many of our clubs know about this already. So it's Clean Up Australia Day this weekend, and here's Daybreak Warrnambool Club with their empty bags and more than their 3 bags full. The before and the after makes a huge difference. And that's one of the things that Rotary also knows. By tracking the difference that Rotary has made with making polio history, right down to that last few handful of cases in that handful of countries, has really helped to draw the resources of major funders to the work that Rotary is doing. And so being able to bring things down to a number, a single number, is sometimes the most powerful way for you to tell your story with impact. The method that I'm going to suggest that you try is called STAR, and some of you will have seen this in interviewing, but in fact it's a great way for impact storytelling. And STAR is quite simply, we start off measuring and understanding our situation, where we began. The task is what you imagined you might do, what you imagined you could change. The A is the action that your club members decide to take. What did you do? And finally, the result. What was the outcome and the effect that your project had? Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hand you over to Kathy, who's going to show you some brilliant examples of impact storytelling. Over to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Tony. When I was asked to present on this topic, I thought, wow, what a great opportunity to share the fabulous things my own club has done to increase its impact. But unfortunately, we were unable to do it live today. So what I'd like to share with you is a chat that I had with Assistant Governor Jill Oliver, who was Charter President of the Alfredton Rotary Club when some of these projects were instigated. So this is my brag moment to show you how a small club can make a huge impact. We will start by looking at how one club, my club and Jill's club, increased their impact in a poor, malnourished country, as well as raising their own impact and profile within their own city, and how this Rotary Club continues to contribute to international and local projects, even through COVID lockdowns, with only 27 members. The Alfredton Rotary Club holds a special place in Rotary history as being the first satellite club in the world to charter in 2013, going on to become a very active club, branding themselves with the colour purple. What started as a simple idea of taking toys to a remote Bali community whilst we were still a satellite club has grown into projects that are not only life-changing for the villagers involved, but also for the members of the Alfredton Rotary Club and the sponsors they have engaged to assist them with their projects. Jill, can you please tell us how the Bali projects came about and how you brought the Bali connection to the members, and if you ever imagined what impact it could have?
No, Kathy, I could never have imagined the impact that we've had on so many lives. I met Rotarians, expats, Ray and Sue Bishop, who were already involved in helping those less fortunate. I offered our assistance as a club, and we've been working together ever since.
So the club funded 7 healthy days at around $1,200 each, with 4 of these being funded with matching district grants. What do the healthy days funds provide, Jill?
A dental bus, 3 qualified dentists, a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, and all the medicines that they use on the day.
Wow, it's pretty good, isn't it? So the club made a decision to go to Bali and assist with this project.
Yes, at our first healthy day, the village was so remote with no electricity, we couldn't use the dental bus. So patients were treated sitting upright on bench seats in the Banja.
And teeth were being pulled by the light of the Rotarians' mobile phones, including my own. What an experience that was. And part of the healthy days was visiting schools.
Here, children are taught how to brush their teeth correctly by the visiting dentists, while Rotarians handed out toothbrush, toothpaste and water.
And I believe in some instances this was the only toothbrush for the whole family.
Yes, maybe.
And how's this for a club with vision? At the time, past President Jill, current President Deb, incoming President Ali and President-elect Marg, all working together on this fabulous Bali project to ensure its continuity and ongoing success. During our visits, the members attended an all Balinese speaking meeting with one of the partner clubs, building lifelong relationships despite the language barrier. The project was a joint project between Rotary Clubs of Hope Island, Queensland, Bali Taman and the Alfredton Rotary Club. For some of these patients, it was the first time they'd seen a doctor, a dentist or an allied health worker in their life. Before we got involved, poor nutrition led to poor dental health and skin diseases. Jill, how is this nutrition of the villagers now?
It's still extremely poor. When your diet consists mainly of corn and pumpkin, there are massive health issues. Due to the arid conditions of most of these villages, they're unable to grow rice, which would normally form the basis of a Balinese diet.
So tell me about the Alfredton members returning to Bali in 2016.
Some of our newer members wanted to become involved and assist in helping. So we funded another healthy day, visited another school where we handed out sporting equipment and educational equipment, as well as presenting a new and much needed patient transport vehicle. We were fortunate to attend the blessing ceremony as well. This is the new all-purpose built Bali Sehat Medical Centre, where we were going to send a container, but that didn't happen due to government restrictions, which was relocated to Zimbabwe. However, we did provide hospital funding for hospital beds.
So out of adversity, we still did a good project. Then following the eruption of Managong in 2018, the members rallied to send face masks to the villagers living in the shadow of the dust caused by this natural disaster, making breathing their air hazardous. So that was a simple way of helping the villagers. After members seeing for themselves the dry and inhospitable conditions that people live in, the club applied for another grant. Jill, tell us about it.
Yes, a $3,000 matching grant was applied for a village for 1,000 kilo plants. And a kilo is a moringa. It's a nutrient-rich crop, easily grown in arid conditions, and provides much-needed vitamins and minerals to malnourished individuals. So 100 farmers received 10 plants to grow in their own plots. Training was provided by agronomists and overseen by Rotarians. The initial crop would be harvested by the farmer for his own use, and then any surplus sold to create an income.
Fabulous project. So this then led to another joint project for much needed water.
The government built a reservoir and water system. However, 87 families missed out due to the inaccessible terrain. Each day, village women walked up to 3 hours to collect water, which they carry on their heads. Hygiene was often overlooked due to the lack of water. The locals approached the Rotary Club and asked for help. We became involved and funded the project. The locals actually laid 8 kilometres of piping through arid, shocking land, erected tanks, and it was all done overseen by the Rotarians locally.
And now there's enough water for the farmers as well as the school and the temple.
Yes.
So there was another crisis and another project opportunity. When a huge surge in COVID hit and the international tourists stopped visiting Bali, the income and the means to feed Balinese families dried up, with malnutrition becoming a real issue for many families. Alfred and Rotarians once again stepped up and partnered with Bali Ubud Sunset Rotary Club, funding food parcels and engaging with the Ballarat community to assist this country that many Aussies had visited as tourists on a regular basis. So Jill, how did the club share their projects with other Rotary clubs?
Well, mainly our club bulletins, district website, Facebook, Instagram, local papers, radio, etc.
So they get the word out there. And how did the club tell the community about the Bali project?
We had a fantastic 3-page spread in the local paper, as well as an article in the Balinese paper.
Yeah, good coverage. So how has the club raised funds for these projects?
In over 2 years, we had dinner dance, feast and frolic, and we raised over $36,000, which was fantastic. We managed to attract sponsors who assisted in funding many of our projects and continue to do so. We've engaged the community. Sponsorship involvement has sustained several of our ongoing projects.
And this is why we do it. The future of these communities have the ongoing benefit of healthcare. We've donated reconditioned wheelchairs, which are assisting those with mobility issues, which is prevalent throughout Bali. Dietary and dental health improvements, growing nutritious crops and the ongoing health benefits that come with it. Only yesterday on Facebook, I saw that 1,200 people have so far been attended to at Bali Sahat Medical Clinic this year alone, which is a fabulous result. And of course, the ladies are not carrying the water anymore. There's now enough to be able to use a tap in the village, which is fabulous. So do you think your club's too small to change the world and make a difference? With a membership of just 27 people, this club has achieved quite a bit and have certainly increased its impact with every project that they work on. How else have you impacted on your local community? Jill?
Recently, over the last couple of years, it's been a little bit difficult, but we've thought outside the box, and we came up with a takeaway morning and afternoon tea for Australian Rotary Health, lifting the lid, a takeaway father's high tea for Polio Plus, created an environmental challenge competition, participated in Walk Against Waste, held a virtual Halloween event, at a Vino and Van Gogh painting session for Rotary Foundation, and a Christmas wreath decorating workshop for Romac, whilst raising substantial funds.
Thank you, Jill, for sharing the impact that the Eltham Rotary Hat Club has had on local and international communities in need. It's been a fabulous journey. So, do you ask your community to assist you with your projects? Look at what's easy for us to give and valuable for them to receive. For us, a project of taking toys to Bali, to a Bali village, has grown into all these additional projects. Now it's up to you to imagine how we as Rotarians can have an impact on members, communities, sponsors and donors. Tell people the impact your membership has had on your life and others. There are certainly many mothers in Bali who now have access to water, and the impact it has had on their lives has been enormous. To get people involved in Rotary, you must think their thoughts and speak their words, and together we can grow Rotary and increase our impact. Imagine Rotary and what your club can achieve. Now back to you, Tony, to allocate everyone to a breakout room to discuss their imagined opportunities. Good luck with it all, guys.
Thank you, Kathy. So I hope that, yes, we have. I'll go back again, sorry. I hope that you saw that even though those are big and global and international projects, that the impact can be global or it can be local. The important thing about telling your story is, first of all, you start off really clearly understanding the situation, then what it was you imagined you might achieve. Sometimes it grows way beyond that. Then describe and capture your action, and finally have a way of showing the tangible results. Because no matter whether you're local or you're global, the same principles apply. Focus on what's important, measure your results, and tell your story. So now we are going to give you some time to work together in smaller breakout groups, and hopefully you all have your hand up. Certainly the facilitators in your group will have these questions, so you don't have to commit them to memory, but you're going off into groups to talk about these two things. What ideas do you have to increase the impact of your current or your future service projects? And how can you get some of the data? How can you provide that before and after view that was so powerfully shown in what Kathy and Jill just shared with you? And now I think you're going into your groups.
Thanks, everyone, and welcome back to the main group. I hope you enjoyed your opportunity to discuss these topics with your group. And now in the next 10 minutes, we're going to get a brief report of 1 to 2 minutes each from your facilitators on your comments and suggestions on the topics covered. So first up, we have Catherine Eagleson and David Hanlon to discuss what areas do you have to increase the impact of your current and future service projects. Thank you, Catherine. We'll just need to wait till you're unmuted.
Not very good at that. Can everyone hear me?
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, very good. One of our participants, Lauren, has had a very good idea about having an evaluation tool, I suppose you'd call it, like he calls it a cheat sheet for each project. It's sort of a time-saving device that can be given to all members, which includes the name of the project, who's coordinating the project, the description and the type of project it is, how much is going to needs to be raised, and which members can help.
Yeah, good idea. Any others that would help increase the impact?
We're sort of reaching out to young people. We all know that young people are time poor, and the thought was that engaging them to do a specific project, yep, like on a particular night or something, so you can short and sharp. You're more likely to engage them for one event than you are on an ongoing basis. I mean, they're coming to they can come when they can, but they have these short and sharp bursts.
Beautiful. Okay. Thank you for that, Catherine.
Pleasure.
And David, do you have some input for us? David Hanlon?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, a number of the clubs in the breakout room have been forced to look at some of their existing projects because of COVID. And that's caused them to think of whether or not those projects are still engaging with the community and how they can make them more effective. At the same time, it's given an opportunity to think about how to engage with the community about what is required. And there were some really good suggestions that were coming from some of the clubs around particularly health support and particular mental health. Some of the projects that were planned for that, I think will certainly impact on their community and have a positive impact on Rotary. And there was a suggestion from one of the members about ensuring that each club have what he termed promotable events. And that is ensuring that you have projects that are demonstrating members are people of action and are something that people will want to engage with, and hopefully that will lead to not only Rotary becoming well known in the community, but having people join Rotary as a result of that.
Very good. Thanks, David. Okay, so we'll now go on to Deb Robertson and Di Harrison, who will discuss what are some of the data collection and measurement opportunities you can use to demonstrate the impact of your projects. Over to you, Deb.
Thanks, Kathy. We thought that we had a couple of different things. One was the obvious thing about our impact on our own club was the membership numbers. So, you know, you can keep an idea on whether you're actually attracting or retaining your own members by looking at those. And then there was one of our group members spoke about Catherine, you need to mute.
Oh, sorry.
Yourself. That's all right. One of our members talked about a project in Frankston where they have been planting trees for every baby born in the year. So, you know, so by measuring, you know, the number of babies born, the number of trees, getting it out there, it's a very, you know, here's a tree, you can see it. And they've actually got a new member from one of those trees that they've planted, a new young member whose baby had a tree planted for them. So that's a very, very measurable, you know, before and after. There is a tree, there is a baby. So that was a great one.
Thanks, Deb.
Another idea was to invite other organisations to be participating in your projects so that you can they get involved as well, and you can they can see the impact of your projects, and you can see how they work as well.
Yep. Well, we know that works with our club because we've had that happen. And not only that, the members wanted to get engaged by going back for a second visit to do our healthy days. So yeah, that we know that part works, don't we, Deb?
Yeah.
Okay, Di Harrison, have you got some input for us?
I do have some input for you, and thank you, Kathy. I had 9 fellow Rotarians in my session and got to hear some wonderful projects that they're doing. And I'll just quickly run through some of the key points that were made. So what I heard is that there are clubs who are seeking out input and feedback from their community, which guides the type of project that they understand they need to run for their community. So, for example, in Rochester, the community chat breakfast, they engage the community and they have guest speakers and they have a question and answer, which then in turn guides the club into identify what the projects are and what the issues are within their community. And from that, they can then design how they're going to have an impact. So it's a reverse of the idea of impact is seeking the information first.
Yep. Good idea.
Then we had finding out the success stories for when bursaries and awards have been given to schools, really actively seeking out what's happened with what we've done to support particular students at your school, and observing privacy as well, but seeking out opportunities to promote and to create partnerships from that connection with the school. And the other ways of publicising their impact is through articles in the newspaper, local newspaper, Facebook, and another way is to bring people together through the farmers markets and also the community garden, and through meetings and planning and being very diligent in what it is that you're seeking to achieve to increase that impact, and then promoting it. So we had some really fantastic contributions, and there was one club that realised that they actually need to improve their impact. And so I think the conversation about the second part of the question, how to improve your impact and what your data collection, has been really fruitful for that particular club. And one that I really enjoyed was the Boys in the Bush project, which has created enormous awareness, which has led to the club being successful in obtaining grants and sponsorship to then have someone employed in full-time basis to oversee the project. And there's no doubt that there'll be a huge impact by taking those initiatives. So yeah, very enjoyable session, and I'd like to thank all the participants in my group.
Well done. Thanks, Di and Deb. Now, what you will notice out of that is that people are happy to share their projects. So don't be shy. Get out there, tell people what you do, and tell them the impact you have. So your next steps now are, when you return to your club, start the conversation. Are your current Rotary projects valued and understood by your community? What could you do to ensure that your club's time, energy, and resources are directed in a way that makes an impact?